Hey, what is going on, YouTubers? And Dave65 here. I apologize for keeping y'all delayed with the latest Megaforce episode. I was doing work and stuff like that, and I hadn't had time to actually upload it or make a video for it. Now that I have time, I can actually get my thoughts, and this will be my third episode of 80s Power Rangers Megaforce reviews. Okay. So this episode is called Going Viral. This just starts off with Noah talking to Gia and Emma, and I think they were using some kind of new video chat room thing or whatever because they were on the computer, and Emma's like, "Oh, you're so smart because you came up with this new idea and blah blah blah," and Noah, I guess she's like praising Noah for something. I completely forgot what it was, to be honest. And then and Jake comes in and he says, bye to Gia and Emma and stuff like that, and Jake's like, oh, Jake's in love with Gia. Is all like, hey, is Gia? That's Gia in there? Hey, and then it just all of a sudden she click off, and he's all mad and shit. And I'm like, dude, it's just the computer. You'll eventually see her, whenever. And it's he's starting to become a little bit annoying with the whole thing with oh, I love Gia and I'm obsessed with Gia, blah blah. But the digression is still pretty good. Oh yeah. So okay, this is pretty funny. Jake actually asked Noah to help do some modifications on his snake axe. He actually is Noah actually asked him because he thinks it's a guitar in the case that he has, and it's actually a snake axe. He says he wants him do some modifications on it, and it's kind of funny that he's asking Noah, who doesn't even know a damn thing about how this even works, if it's even technology, or it's just he isn't. I mean, it's. I know it's an axe. Yeah, I know it, but it's materialized from something out of nowhere, from a card. So I mean, it's how do you upgrade something that's created by another being? I mean, why didn't you ask Gosei or Tenzu? But I mean, I guess that Noah's that's that smart. He can fix stuff Billy does. And then they actually gave it a pretty good a pretty good setup episode. This most is center like a Jake and Noah episode. Last week it was uh, a Jake and Gia episode, but this is a Noah centered episode with a little bit of Jake. So Jake just wants some modifications to so he can move the use the axe better so that he can impress Gia. And he's like, "What, are you crazy? You brought the axe to school? No one people could see this." And he's all like, "Come on, dude! I know you can do it or whatever." And then he says "I count you, buddy." And he's like, "Yeah, sure, I'll do it." And then he leaves. Noah begins to I guess see what he can do with the axe, and he tries to pick it up, but the thing is heavy as fuck. The reason why this episode is in the Sentai version of Go Sager was that the Landic axe, which was Agiri, aka Gosei Black's weapon, was heavy because he's part of the Land tribe, which means that they carry heavy weapons, which is why what was that guy's name? It was Alta Airy, Agiri, Monet, and Hyde. Yeah, that Gosei Blue was Hyde. Hyde couldn't pick it up because it's not his weapon. He's not trained to use because Atlantic tribes are well known for carrying heavy set weapons because they're earth based warriors. So of course he's gonna be naturally able to lift the axe up like a feather. So that's why he wasn't able to pick the axe up before in the show. Yep. And also, oh yeah. So he tries to pick the ass up, and he's like, man, this thing is heavy. Like, I don't know how he lifts this thing up. It's crazy. And he's like, man, I gotta work out and stuff. And then, the villains, they decide, well, why don't we just spread a virus around the entire planet using my monster. That way we can turn all the, humans into our, like, into our slaves, so we can do what we want. And then the Earth will be ours in, like, within days. And and Varrock, as most people call him, sends out this virus monster that basically uses his sneezing ability to turn humans into Loogies, which is actually pretty. I guess we gotta find the reason why they're called Loogies now, because the green, the monster like sneezes on people, and like they turn to Loogies, and like it kind of makes sense in this episode. I mean, they really trying to make sure that yes, we are calling them Loogies on purpose for this exact reason. It's like, yeah. Um, and then Emma and Gia and Troy are just like waltzing around and around town with Troy not really saying much. It's more or less Gia and Emma talking, and it's like, okay, Troy. It's like third episode. I mean, we're gonna have some like kind of interaction. We're gonna like talk and like stop being a loner. I mean, I know that like people are like, oh well, he's just a loner and stuff like that. Well, he has friends. I mean, not like he wants to be alone, like alone. I mean, he's shown to interact with the Rangers when they're fighting, so it's like his personality shines when he's in Ranger form. That's what really surprised me. He shines. His personality is more different when he's in Ranger form. When he's in human form, he's kind of dull. Especially when he's fighting in the Megazord in the last episode, where he's all like, he shoots these scores, showing off and stuff. And that wasn't really how Troy acts. And it's like, why isn't Troy being like this in his civilian form as well? It just makes sense. And they see the people getting tapped by the bad Loogies and stuff, and they're causing spreading disease and stuff. And so they call it Gosei, and Gosei's like, well, do what you can. They ask him like, how can we stop them without hurting them? And he's like, do your best. This is the best you can. I'm very intelligent. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Just do what you can. Don't hurt him. It's like, yeah, you didn't have no fucking idea what you were gonna say. You just was like, shit, I don't know. Fuck that. Let's just do something. And Noah goes to fight the monster and save this woman from getting destroyed and stuff. And then she asks him like, are you some kind of superhero or something? And I'm like, woman, Power Rangers have been around for years. Like, how do you not know this? This is in canon with continuity. It's like, why can't you know? And then they proceed to fight the monster, and well, Jake comes in. He starts fighting the monster too. And there's this little funny bit after they made the monster retreat that Jake's snake axe actually lands on Noah's foot, and it's like hurting him and stuff. That's pretty funny. And then Rangers is still trying to like trying to stop the the humans transform to Loogies without hurting them, and they keep repeating over and over and over again, like, we can't hurt them. No, like we gotta stop them without hurting them. No, we have to stop. We have to stop them without hurting them. Stop them, stop them, without hurting them. I'm like, okay, we get it. We're trying to stop them without trying to hurt them, but you keep repeating it over and over again. It's gonna sound annoying. Stop it, please. I mean, Samurai, you didn't do all that much. I mean, well, actually, yeah, I kind of did. But anyway, the point is, just lay off the whole repeating repeating your whole plan again without sounding annoying. And then they eventually find a way to trap them all and like make sure they don't hurt themselves and stuff or hurt others. And then Noah actually it manages to pick up Jake's snake axe after he gets a flashback of Jake saying, "Oh, you have to believe in yourself," because earlier Noah was trying to work out and stuff, like doing push-ups and stuff, and like she's like, "What are you doing, man?" He's like, "I gotta be strong, just like you. I gotta be better." And he's like, "No, you ain't gotta do all that, man. Just believe in yourself. It's one of those things where you have to cheer up the friend and stuff." And this actually kind of does reminisce into how like the nerdy aspect of the Power Rangers was for like any ranger that was like considered nerdy or intelligent. This actually reminds me, even though they're not the same type of ranger color, um, the episode of Time Force where Trip felt inferior to the other Rangers because even though he was a genius, he wasn't exactly the best fighter. Even though he does hold his own in some fights, which doesn't make sense. It's like you can fight. It's just he wants to be like all flashy and like do the whole twirl gun thing like Wes does, and he wants to do those nice acrobatic attacks like Jin. He just wants to fit in. He doesn't feel like he is a true member of the team. He's just the nerd guy, and people only care about him because he's the intellect of the group. Man, I'd say this kind of remind me of that too. Um, and then after that, they all meet each other and stuff, and then form their Mega Blaster and destroy the monster. Not before making a very it's a tiny error, but it's like, how do you not miss that? Okay. So, after they destroy the monster, Noah uses Jake's snake axe to, destroy, crumble the little, why I say it, the little square box that the Loogie humans were trapped in and stuff. And they were already transported back to normal and stuff like that. And, Virak is going to summon the Zombats to make the monster grow and stuff. Here's where they made their error. You see them actually all stand in the same spot after they destroy the monster with the Megaforce blaster all intact, which we just saw Noah go into the city and free other people. And they're already still at the I won't say the lake, but they're more like a I don't know how to say this. Like they're at the park. They're at the park. With their Megaforce blaster still cheering on, like, yeah, we did it, and the monster's growing. It's like, okay, they weren't in that location, and they didn't have that blasters weren't together like that. They should have been separated, or they should have edited that out better, But I don't know. He should have done that before they destroyed the monster. If they were going to do all that, because that didn't make sense. Where they showed the blaster still combined with everybody on it, with Jake just with Noah just taking the axe and saving the people and stuff. That didn't look good. And the monster grows, and then surprisingly, the monster actually starts wailing on them because he takes the sword, takes the Megazord's dragon sword, and then Noah has saying we gotta believe in ourselves and stuff like that. And apparently, if you have like enough heart and you believe in yourself, you get special cards. And the special card was they get the 3 new Zords, which are the Sea Zords. The Sea Brothers Zords, which were the Manta, Hammerhead, and Shark. Yeah. And it was and they did the fusion where they combined all three of the Zords and form Sea Ghost Great Megazord. And then they, defeat the monster, save the day, blah blah blah, all that stuff. And then Noah actually repairs Jake's, snake axe to be a little more, better to use and stuff. And he's like, this seems kind of loose and stuff like that. I'm not sure if I can, I still wield it. And he's like, and Noah's like, well, just gotta believe in yourself, that type of thing. And that's the end of the episode. This episode was alright. It just has some kind of choppy dialogue with the whole like we gotta save them without stopping them thing was kind of annoying. There were a few errors. There was like one little error in the episode, but overall it was alright. It was decent. 3 out of 5. No, I'm being generous. Hopefully the next episode will be better, and I will see you guys later on. Peace, sayonara, and have a great day, people.